Hey everybody, Scott Jansen here. In this video, let's quickly talk about strategy calls. Now, whether you're a hypnotherapist, coach, NLPer, I always recommend doing strategy calls in order to find out a few things before you commit to working with a client, also based on price and scaling and stuff like that. But also what I want to talk about is the one question, this is if you are doing strategy calls, the one question everybody should add to their strategy call script or their sales script, and something we teach all of our students to do as well. So let's get into a strategy calls for hypnotherapists. So let's firstly look at the reasons for doing them, just in case you're on the fence about whether you want to do them or not. Here's the reasons why you do want to. Clients will not pay a high price without them. Now, if you're committed to just charging $100 or $200, put those prices on your website, and you're basically just going to bring in any old person with any old issue that is more than likely going to be shopping around for price or really not a good fit for you. And the low prices, as I've said so many times, do not scale. So clients will not buy or pay a high price without some sort of strategy call. It's a proven method to be able to scale a business. And we can't build or scale a business with those low prices. So we have to have high prices to build a business, as I've mentioned in many videos before. So you can't have one without the other. So if you want higher prices, the $1,500 and above, which works out perfectly for economics and maths, as we've discussed in other videos, but also perfect for scaling to the 10, 20, 30 grand a month and beyond per month as a hypnotherapist. Clients won't buy or pay for a high price because they don't know you. And you need those higher prices to build a business. So bear that in mind. It also does something very interesting in regards to the therapy. We talk about this in our ACH training and also our Masters of ACH training, spiking motivation and starts the therapy. So strategy calls spike motivation and start the therapy. Everyone believes that when my client comes in, they've paid you for their initial consult or their initial first session. That's when it happens, when you start doing the therapy and stuff. Then, well, the opposite is actually true. You can actually start doing the therapy to some degree on the strategy call, and you should be. That's what speeds up well, that's what creates a fast breakthrough. Spiking motivation is also crucial. You've got to think the amount of motivation it takes for someone who has been a smoker their whole life, had anxiety for their whole life, even if it causes them pain, that's who they are, that's their identity. And it takes a big leap of faith for someone to go from who they were to who they want to be. So you need a spike motivation. We call this being 97% therapized. You want to be able to do 97% of the therapy in the strategy call. Yes, 97%. So by the time they show up, it's just that last 3% that you have to do. And that only might take 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour max. That's what speeds up therapy. So if you've ever wondered how our students not only are making so much money, that's because they're doing the strategy calls the way we teach them, but how they're getting such fast breakthroughs, this is because they're using this first strategy call as quote unquote the first session. But also, like I mentioned, spiking motivation. Think about skin in the game, guys. For someone to pay you a high price, they've got to have a lot of motivation, a lot of trust in you. Spiking motivation is key. Get your clients excited. Unfortunately, you can't do that on a website. No matter how good your copy is, no matter how good your funnel is, how good your testimonials are, get them on a strategy call so you can speak to them, get them therapized on the phone. And also, lastly, making sure you can help them. Now, people often talk about rapport. I want to create rapport. At the end of the day, I'm not really fussed on that. I don't teach it. I don't really bother with it at all. If my client pays me $1,500 and above, I must have rapport. I don't have to use some sort of rapport technique to get to know them. I'm there to help them. They don't have to like me, but I'm there to help them. And I'm there on the strategy call to prove that I can help them and that I'm the only option for them. Hear what I said there, the only option for them. And a high price demands that. Look at any of your mentors, the therapists you look up to, the coaches you look up to. They're not charging $100, $200. They're charging the higher prices. The courses you went on are expensive. You may have even done a strategy call before you went on a live training. That's because it works, guys. All right. So let's get to the most important part, which is what is the most important question to add to your strategy call or your sales script? It is this. Number one, you want to go through the normal what questions, who questions, where, when questions, how and why. It could be like, what brought you on this strategy call today? Who are you fixing this problem for? When do you want this problem gone by? How is this a problem, or how is this creating, or is it creating other issues in your life? Why is it so hard for you to quit or stop or overcome the anxiety? Any of those normal strategy call questions, okay? In the script we give our ACH students and our 100K coaching students, there are 13 key questions that we ask. Number two right here, which is about number 10 or 11 on the strategy call script, is the most important. You want to ask your clients or potential client, what stops you from doing this yourself? Notice what I said there. What stops you from quitting yourself? What stops you from overcoming anxiety? What stops you from figuring this out by yourself? Now, there's only a couple of answers that you're going to get from your clients. Your client must release control of the problem and the way and the art of actually fixing the problem. They have to almost admit to you indirectly that all the ways I have tried to solve this has not worked. Scott, I need you to help me with this. If my client turns around and says, well, maybe I could quit smoking myself, I've just got to try a little bit harder, end the call, guys. They're never going to buy from you. They don't need your help. We need the opposite. We need a client to say, I have tried everything. I don't know what to do next. It's getting worse. It's more painful. I can't figure this out. You seem to have a track record. I need you to figure this out for me. That is the perfect potential of a client. They have to release control that they can do it for themselves. If they don't, they have no reason to buy. So simply ask what stops you, put your niche in there, the type of person you help. What stops you from doing this yourself? What stops you from figuring this out for yourself? Pause, guys, be quiet and let them answer. If they give you anything other than, I can't figure this out myself, you're my last hope to some regards, end the call. If there's even a slight glimpse that they could possibly figure it out, even if it's 10 years from now and more costly, if they have that in their mind that they could still possibly kind of work this out, they'll never buy from you guys. Okay. And lastly, number 3, this is important. Let's talk about money, guys. I don't know what it is about hypnotherapists. Time I talk about money, I get so much flack because people say it's not about building a business, guys. It's not about helping your students make money. It's about helping them get client results. Well, you've got to get both with both. Okay. If you want to build a business, you have to make money. Having happy clients is okay, is obviously important, but it's not as good as having more paid clients so you can be successful in your business and you can help more people. Hypnotherapists have a tend to say, I want to help everybody, I want to help the world. That's fine. You can't do that with a full-time job. You can't do that with 2 part-time jobs because you'll run out of time. The more money you make, the more time you can invest in your clients. So you've got to make sure if your time is limited with the amount of social media you guys need to be doing and the strategy calls, just the business side, which should be about 80% of your time, you've got to make sure that not only the strategy calls are worth your time, but the clients you work with, you want them to have a breakthrough. They've got to have the motivation. They've got to pay that high price. So one of the last questions we have on our sales script for our strategy calls that we give our students is, do you have the financial resources to change X, Y, Z, to change your life, to overcome smoking, to stop the anxiety? And we're looking for, yes, I have the financial resources and I'm ready to commit today. That's the answer we want to get from them. Okay, guys? Now, some of these questions you have in your pre-screening before you do the strategy call, but by the time someone jumps on a strategy call, you should know most of the things about your clients. You should know most of the things before you even commit to even doing the strategy calls. Remember, that's your first therapy session almost. You will know this person inside out because they filled in a questionnaire. You always want to link your questionnaire. We use Calendly, where you can have your questionnaire, your pre-screening, and then you can look at the answers for that pre-screening. And one of those questions is, do you have the financial resources? If they say yes, and you're happy with all the other answers they give you, jump on that strategy call. They have to have the financial resources. They have to have the ability to pay. If they don't, if they say, no, I don't have them, don't do the strategy call, guys. They can go find a cheaper therapist somewhere else who won't go through this, but I guarantee the result will not be as good. So guys, get over the mindset issue about not charging high prices, not committing to you being happy as a person, as a business owner. This is an important question. I get it. We have to care about our clients. It's not the only thing to care about as far as money, but it is a massive part of any business. Every business on the face of this planet concentrates on sales. Hypnotherapists should be no different. I don't know why they are. I used to be like that. I don't know what is stopping people from overcoming that, but it is what it is. So guys, just quickly recap. The most important, what stops you from doing this yourself? They have to release control and they have to make sure that they have the financial resources, guys, to work with you. If they don't, cancel the call, don't do the strategy call, pass them on to somebody else. Okay. So you can add those 2 types of questions to any strategy call script, have it in your pre-screening as well. If you're unsure how this all looks, guys, just jump into our 100K coaching program. We give you all this. I've done all this thinking for you. Strategy calls and sales and scaling is a big part of that program. Why? Because you guys are going to be a lot happier, making a lot of money because you can help more people. Okay, so it's a growing effect there, guys, to make everybody happy. It's a win-win for everybody. All right, hopefully that was informative, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.